Hello, hello. Hello, future friends. Hello, the awesome friends who are here already in Twitch. To the future friends, I hope you're doing great. We're about to see what happens to Martina. Here we go, you're an adult, life's still a nightmare. The difference between a nightmare and an adventure dream is just perspective. We must remember this. So today, it's kind of a make or break situation for Martina. She is already low weight. You know, she's not doing too great. That's why she ended up coming out here. And now, she's stuck out in Shikaland, bro. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're a practice run, and I have infinite lives. That's the attitude to approach a nightmare with. It's just an adventure dream. It's like a game. Good morning, good morning. For the next 3 minutes, I can still say that in my time zone. How you doing? I'm doing great, personally. Just having a chill morning. I always get a little bit, like, I don't know if anxious is the right word. Like, I'm in anticipation because there might be somebody randomly showing up. It's like when you're waiting on a call for something, or it's like, it may or may not happen. And when it happens, it's going to be a complete surprise. It's just... the day kind of becomes about that until it happens. And when it doesn't happen, because last time it was scheduled, it didn't happen. It took me forever to let go of the idea that it would. But I have chosen to have a good day despite that thing going on. You're having a grand morning, playing Arma, protecting a base, and you're the last one alive. You don't know if you're winning this one, but you are gonna go down fighting even if you lose, aren't you? The final boss learned how to punch hard in his nightmares. I guess, yeah, that's a good way to practice the idea of technique. Did you ever realize you're in a nightmare because you can't swing on a monster the way you know you should? So you straight pause your dream, collect yourself, and then knock them the hell out. I've had something similar to that happen before, I'll admit. Not the full pause, but like the slow motion. What's going on here? This is a dream. Stop. Every time. Well, the fun part about that is you could be magical, you could summon whatever weapon you want. Episode 1 of Escape from Shikaland, that is the name. Shika's new car. This place is crowded. So, we're gonna see if we survive. Being nerfed in dreams is enough to make one lucid, though. Have you ever had the one where you're just ridiculously weaker than you are in real life? And yeah, like, that is the most common. I think those would be the ones that are the closest to what you're describing, where it's like, slow down now. This ain't right. Let me just do some tweaking. Well, we've got some fresh cooked eggs on us still, at least. And we did pick up a nightstick from one of the zombies. I'm just gonna keep one ear out. Which is not good for Martina's survival odds, but... man, I do not want to miss the, I don't know. Is it an appointment? I suppose it's scheduled. Oh no, this is a metal door. They don't got a window? They got a window. Window was easily opened. This is going a little too well. It's at least one weapon. Oh, that little bit of lag is foreboding. Why did you just yell? I must have brushed the Q button. Disadvantages of having a really sensitive keyboard. It is so much fun when you train lucidity. You can go Super Saiyan, you can do whatever you want, man. Whatever you can imagine. Worst one for Looney was they woke up full swung on their bunkmate because they were still half asleep, dreaming about a bad fight. You still feel bad for hitting him? Understandable. Honestly, the whole way around, understandable. Because that must have been a real swing, too, if you were still, like, half asleep. You know what? Actually, I'm going to stop and look at the map for a second and plan. Because this area was crazy. I don't really want to go up there, I don't think. This area was also crazy. Where we want to get is over here. Which I think might actually be easier if we go through the non-road areas. Like, it should be quieter in the woods, right? And we can forage as we go along. Well, I think we'll just see how safe we can play this. We've got a little bit of food. We don't need to be constantly foraging quite yet. Is there anything in this mailbox, actually? Twiggies. Where's Twiggies? West Point. Oh. That's where I started out on Zomboid. When the final boss, Lucid Dreams, they turn into Team 4 Stars Vegeta versus Zarbon? I don't remember how to pronounce all of these. I didn't actually watch anything but the abridged version. See, that's a mean cluster of zombies right there. I don't want to go into that. Turn every dream into solo leveling. Solo leveling I keep hearing about. Yeah, see, that's quite a few zombies. We were actually kind of lucky to find a house that wasn't surrounded by zombies to sleep in. Oh boy. If we're already running into this, where's the center? There we go. See, we're kind of gonna want to go around them, but maybe going down. That seems like going further away. I feel like I'm gonna get pinned between them if I go in between this area. Because there's a neighborhood here too. Like, I'm looking at Donkey Road thinking that goes out further, you know? Let's just see what we can see. If we have to just go back to the little house and figure something out, then we can. We must remember that there are sprinters, and this is an extremely busy town. The likelihood that there's going to be sprinters in any mob of zombies is fairly high, considering how many zombies are in each mob. Kinda gotta preserve our energy with that in mind. I'm just gonna shift the chat on my screen a little bit. There we go. Now I can see the mini-map. I'm not very familiar with this area, so I'm actually kind of excited for this. We've gotten ourselves into quite a pickle. My initial goal upon getting stuck here was just find a new car. But I figure the likelihood of finding a car with the keys, with a full tank of gas, in good enough condition to barge back through all of the zombies that we went through, that doesn't seem like it's a very high likelihood, especially if we're trying not to fight too much for it, because we've got limited weapons here. And limited energy. I think walking back, counterintuitively, might actually be the best bet. At least part of the way. To somewhere that's a little bit less densely populated, you know? Shikaland was busy. We could be foraging as we go along here, it feels like. We're gonna be coming upon a house soon. I think I want to head more this direction. Although, how busy is it? That door is broken down. Yeah. Busier than I'd like to deal with, considering how good their hearing is. You need to be banned from Amazon? Oh no. It's too easy to window shop on Amazon, huh? You discovered Amazon Haul. Yeah. Once you actually tell it what you like, you know, like once it gives you at least one thing that you're curious enough to click onto, it learns you. Salutations, fellow human. We're sneaking around in the woods right now. Avoiding Emily. Look at the lengths we have to go to avoid Emily. Oh no. I think she's amongst them. I like how we got stealth and light-footed points for just meerkatting for a moment there. Oh no, there's zombies over there. And over there. This is what I was worried about. We're getting to a point where we're gonna kind of be between them more and more. Yeah. I don't know, how much closer are they gonna get together? I might have to go back and go down and around. But we'll see if it starts getting too close together. Like there, yeah, there's a cluster in the middle. What about this direction? More. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back. It's a nice bit of ground that we can forage over, though. Grasshopper. I mean, if we get desperate. My parents smoke worse than I do. Soon enough, I will have stopped and you won't be able to poke fun at me like that. Nah. Doesn't feel like, it feels like it's hard for people to ignore. I've had one person that was like, do you think vaping is cool? And I'm like, no. But beyond that, speaking of Dragon Ball Z, closing Amazon took the levels of effort that those men pretend they're exerting. Well, at least their pretense creates an example for other things like that. The bug is not for judging. Man, that's a big mob. Don't like that. Don't like that. You exert that energy in everything you do. See, yeah, these fields are sketchy as fuck. I don't want to be walking like that through there. So what if I go all the way down here around them? Their power levels are not high enough for the final boss. How am I liking my Shikaland vacation? How do you feel, Martina? She's playing it cool, but I don't know. She's eaten a bunch of eggs today, at least. Oh, that is so many of them. She's not getting scared anymore, I'm noticing. Like, we just looked at so many zombies, and she's just like, okay. This is fine. It's a decent cluster, but not as severe. They'll get lured over to each other because there's several clusters, though. If I go this way, though, how far out are they spawning? It's interesting because, like, this is an area that we haven't really explored, so they haven't had time to wander, migrate yet. I think the earlier we can get out of here, the better. Which is why I'm not trying to fight for cars or anything like that. Oh man, we're feeling drowsy. I don't know when we're gonna find a house that is empty like the one we found before. But I don't want to backtrack now. Eventually, if we get tired enough, we can just sleep on the ground. Which is not great. It can actually send you into a tiredness loop. Where you kind of just don't get better. It's not going to be too horrifyingly cold yet, but we may as well grab some stones. Like, have the ability to make a fire on quick notice. Should have refilled my water. We might want to go back to the house. We haven't gone very far. But we do at least have a game plan now. Like, we know the direction that we want to go. A little fire will actually really help us. Because if we get sick, then we're gonna be really struggling. You know, like, really struggling. Where did you come from? I don't know, but I could probably use some cloths. I always expect those ones to be pretending to be dead. Because they will do that. Sometimes the ones that are just laying there acting like a corpse are just acting like a corpse. They will just stand right back up when you try to loot them. I should probably drag this corpse outside for the night. If I'm gonna sleep here. Speaking of not getting sick. Dragging the corpses takes a lot of energy now. And it really limits you. So I like to kind of have a look around occasionally. Now, if you run even a little bit, you immediately drop the corpse. So that helps. But I don't like the idea of something sneaking up behind me while I'm doing that. We don't have anything but rotten food. So I think we'll want to sleep. We'll want to... Actually, does this have emergency broadcast? No. Can't check the weather. Because I do not remember the number for that channel. You can actually punch it in manually. But the emergency broadcast is always different in each world. Like, once you've learned it for that world, you know it for that world, but yeah, you kind of gotta memorize it for each one. Oh, come on. How many are there? I see one more, two more. Oh boy. Ooh, true, we could find that. If I don't find another thing that has the station before then. Maybe this cop will have another nightstick or something for me. We really need some sleep. I think some of these must have spotted me while I was walking past. Another holster. Nothing I really want. Yeah, some of them have much better senses than others. And some of them have much better memories than others. So those were just some exceptional zombies. Alright, I'm gonna let her sleep while we have time. If I wait any longer, more might find us. Around 6 a.m. That feels like it works. Alright, so we're grabbing a refill. Today we are going to be foraging as we go along. Hopefully we'll find stuff that will give us hydration as well. Trying to avoid the zombies at the same time, so we're going to try to swing real wide of them. And yeah, beyond that, oh boy, yeah, they're moving this direction. They're just generally migrating. This is why we gotta move now. Those little gaps that we can exploit are only gonna last so long, and how did they find this? We can fight a few. The fog will actually help us because of the new stealth system. But it also kind of helps them. We're gonna want to check the zombies that we do kill for weapons as we go along. I love the nightsticks for how much they knock things over. Long and short blunt are some of my favorites. In build 41 mostly because prevalence. But in build 42, the ability to knock things over really frequently like that, it just helps you to juggle more zombies at once. Oh boy, yeah, this is a dense fog though. We're gonna have to be careful. We're not gonna get much foraging done either, like, look, very small circle. Broccoli is good though, we can just eat that right away. But yeah, considering how low visibility things are right now, I'm gonna keep foraging off. Where are they going? Yeah, they're all wandering down. So I'm gonna have to go well wide. I think I heard a forest creature. I think that zombie has something in its back, but I'm also gonna lure him out of the mist if I fight it. Concern. I don't know why they're all wandering down and how many of them have redistributed. This fog's not good for us. Oh, come on. Those viewer selling messages, like, they're always so generic that I'm surprised that they don't get caught by, like, some kind of autofilter. If it's flagging stuff I don't even understand why it would flag, then, you know. At least we're kind of strong. Seem to actually be clubbing these effectively. The usernames are very creative. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was one that was like a foot sandwich or something like that. Like, it had to do with food and it had to do with feet. Which is a bit strange. A bit strange. Felt like we knew too much about that bot, you know? Let's see. Yeah, we can see them from a ways away still. They're definitely wandering around in the mist. Those ones were right next to us and they didn't see us, so... I do think we get the better end of the deal. As long as I don't hear a sprinter coming out of the fog. Sometimes they start grumbling to themselves like that. It's concerning. When I first started streaming, was it weird to talk as I play? Kind of. Like, sometimes I wouldn't know what to talk about. Especially depending on the game. Like, I think one of the first games that I streamed was, it was a little indie game. What was it called? I really want to know, because I did very much enjoy it. I got, like, there was a sale on, like, all of their games, and I got several, like, 2 trilogies, and, yes, Don't Escape, 4 Days to Survive. That's one that I played on stream. And a lot of it is reading. And at the time, I wasn't, like a lot of the story is in reading. I didn't know whether to just kind of leave it on the screen or whether I should read it out, like how it's being read out in my head, you know? Stuff like that. Eventually with Stardew, I settled on how it's being read out in my head. You know, like, if I'm sat there reading, I don't want to just, like, sit quietly necessarily. Like, little stuff like that, where you wouldn't necessarily normally think to verbalize it, but it is part of the gaming process for me. It's just a matter of being like, oh yeah, I can share that. Yeah. Kind of. I can't do as many voices as my head can do. And see, we're starting to get peckish. This is why I was thinking it would be good to forage as we go along. But I was not expecting it to be this foggy. Kind of why I wanted to check the weather. Okay, that fence makes me nervous. That's not a tall fence, is it? Protective exorcism. I just saw that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a funny one. Okay, what is this place? We don't even really have this explored yet. We'll find a way through. We'll find a way through. The fact that they're actively migrating in the fog is making this a very interesting stealth mission. I don't know what this is reminding me of, but it's more in the, like, zombie shows territory. If it was Walking Dead, then I could just walk right through them because Martina's already painted herself in zombie. That one has a backpack. I don't want to check this mailbox. Sometimes there's good stuff. Just a flyer for a house for sale this time, though. Ooh. Yeah, that scared her a bit. They were eating something. They were crouched down in the bushes eating something. Alright, taking the hand fork, checking for other stuff, moving along, because other stuff will have been attracted. Oh boy. There was one more eating it that it was distracted. Oh, that's terrifying. They were fully in the bushes. I understand why Martina was scared there. Alright, we're gonna have to move on real quick from here. Don't like this. We're getting into these situations that Again, because there is a 1% chance of sprinters, I have to consider at all times, if a sprinter showed up right now, would I be dead? So there's always a chance. Yeah, this is low visibility. We really need to be foraging as well, but I do not think we can. We've got some cereal though. Eat that cereal. Clear a little space in our inventory. Hilariously, it feels like the fog has gotten a little bit better. Welcome back. We are in the very foggy Shikaland still. But we've managed to get a bit further along. Well, let's see. See, I'm tempted to speed it a bit, but it's concerning. Very concerning. I'm gonna stay sneaking while I do. Very happy to be able to see again. Okay. That is cleared enough that I really want to forage. Actually, what is this? You're surprised with there being so much farmland that they don't have wet spots that slow me down. Hey, you love this game. Good to know. I love this game too. This has to be my favorite game. Like, I've gone back and forth with it where it's like, well, looking at the gameplay hours. But, nah, this is my favorite. This is the only game in recent days that I've actually been happy to spend more money on. Not because they made me, but because I wanted to buy it for more people. Well, we're not in a car anymore, so the rain isn't really slowing Martina down. Oh, there are cows here. That's why there's so many zombies. Yeah. If I can just hit the edge of that. None of the cows are in there. Because there's so many zombies. Guess you'll just delete Repo. Pshaw. I mean, Repo was fun. Repo is a really fun game to play with friends. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite game, for sure. In a similar way to, like, Phasmophobia is really, really fun to play with friends. But I can't say it's my favorite game, because, like, I don't play it alone. Repo is fun, we just never have a group. Yeah, it feels like Repo was, like, explosively popular for a little while there. Everybody got the game and was playing it for a little while. But now everybody has the game, but they're no longer playing the game. And yeah, it's better when it's the main group, you know? Boom of the casual games. Yeah. Yeah, it's just things come in and out of popularity. Like, Schedule 1 was really big for a little while there, too. Still pretty big, I'd say. But yeah, Repo is just so comedic with a good group. All that takes is just being good enough friends. Okay. Well, this is a pig farm. Can't really mark that, because again, no pig indicator, but we'll do a little circle like it's their nose. We're going to have leveled our stealth several times by the end of this. This is quite a stealth mission. Welcome back with your noodles. Yes. Our group was so funny with the blind man every single time. It wasn't just that, like, he gets us, but we end up getting cocky and trying to mess with him. You had your friends killed because you couldn't not laugh. Yes. Yeah, no, I had this moment. I was playing a duo game with the final boss there, with Shika. And it was just the two of us, right? This one of those moments that I wish I had been recording for. Because we end up, we're hiding in this tiny upstairs area from the blind man. He comes up the stairs, and he's looking between the area where the two of us are. You know? And we're both scrunched across from each other underneath tables, just looking at each other. And the way that the characters are animated. So Shika looks at me and slowly shakes his character. No. He says no. And I burst out laughing because it just looked too funny. Like the googly eyes jiggling around while he's slowly going, no, 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 don't do it. You know? And I laugh. I get shot by the blind man. My head flies up into the air and lands directly in front of Shika, like looking him in the eye. And I am, like, in the ghost chat laughing my ass off. Like, I almost want to see what that looked like from Shika's perspective as well, and I want him to see what that looked like from mine. That's one of those, like, I wish I had been recording. But there were so many moments like that in Repo. That's why I think, like, it would be a really fun one to stream. There's just always gonna be times that are clippable, you know? Yeah, that must have been so difficult for you to hold it together. It was the way that the head kind of clattered to the floor as well. The shake of the head, though, that is what tipped it for me. Oh boy, I don't know. We can fight them. We can fight them. I just do not want to attract more zombies. Hunter Newsome. You're dunking chicken nuggies in noodle broth and you feel like a 6-year-old. Kind of understandable. But also, what's not to love there, you know? that little lunge forward she just did, that is part of what I was looking for. The crowbar used to do that. That guy has a spear in him. Yeah, I'll fight you. I'll fight you right after I finish my cereal. No room in the backpack. Alright, I'm gonna pick that up and I'm moving because a big old group of them is being lured over. I'll fight you right after I finish my cereal is an unexpectedly badass quote. It was shown in anime. I can see that energy, yeah. Yeah, just like, give me a second. You're inconveniencing me. But I will kick your ass. The spear is gonna be really fun to fight with as well. We're gonna need some water here soon, though. Okay, it's just the music. I'm like, is there something? Oh, what's this? Looks like there would be an animal zone there. Strange. This is gonna make me hungry too. Between my character scrounging for food wherever she can. We always end up talking about, how did that one end up downed? Wonder if we ran that one over before. Where are we heading now? Well, I'd like... Actually, given the time, we should probably find somewhere to kind of camp out. But we're past this nearly. If we can get past this area, and then we can start heading up to Hogwallow Road. And Hogwallow Road will actually take us back to Hawthorne Creek Road, which is where our place is. Oh, where is this? We've got Cattle Road. Where's Cary Road? Cairn Highway. Okay, just wanted to confirm. Actually, again, I need to move the chat. Let's see. Right there. I made it so that the chat is no longer translucent. It actually has a background it's against so that I can actually read. But let's put it right here because this is around the area that we're going through. Cairn Highway. So, we've nearly escaped Shikaland then. If that's Karen Highway, we take Karen Highway to Hog Wallow Road, and then we're out of Shikaland. This is the final little stretch. We are getting pretty late in the day, though. So I think we will camp out if we can clear a little spot here. We're gonna run out of energy to be clearing this spot pretty fast, though. Which one of you yershed? I swear I heard one of them yershed. Insane mug. How do you even get one of these? Oh, I got this one from my grandma's. So, from your grandma's? You don't know. They know where the best mugs are, I guess. I found some mugs that I never would have guessed. Never would have found them, you know? Never would have guessed where to find them. Okay, so this place, judging by the garbage on the floor, has been raided already. So we're probably gonna get less loot. Hey, we finally broke that nightstick so we can drop it. We really want to lower our weight, though. Broken long stick, nightstick, ground. Who else wants to fight? Oh no, you're gonna give us another nightstick, aren't you? Yup. At least we can attach it at the waist there. At max, you find heart bugs. You know. Yeah, the unique shapes I don't find as much. There was one I used to love that it was a little kitty mug. It was like a little fat cat, kind of squat, but the ears were actually like part of the shape rather of the like rim of the mug, rather than just a design on it. It was like it had ears, and I loved that. It was so cute. Pretty sure someone stole that one off me. Oh, but yes, fun design on a mug is always great. Oh man, there's even more of them over there. This is really not a secure house, even if we do manage to kill the ones around here. But it's the least busy one we've seen so far. Since we left the little safe space we parked at. The coffee gotta be stylish. Fair. They look like they have a good backpack. I don't want that backpack. We gotta at least be able to stop in for water at this place, though. Yeah, we really need water. Oh man, my nose is itchy. Sorry. Not sure how much of it is allergies and how much of it is just, when the heaters are always on in the winter, it gets pretty dry. Whee! Either way, it's a good thing I can pause on a moment's notice in this game. I kind of like when they're partially out of sight, when my character kind of does that, Like, it's almost like the game is censoring what happened. It was just that brutal. Hunting vest with patches. Kind of want to take that. Photograph of a famous outlaw. Oh, they had good stuff. We'll take the hiking boots. We're gonna need those on our hike. These ones are fresh. Alright, and then if we equip this secondary and then put this on our back. Oh, I guess we have to equip it primary. Alright, this way we shouldn't have an issue with the favorited stuff. Bootsies. Yeah, Martina likes shoes. Woohoo! This one doesn't have a hole in the toe. They had a map on them. Looks like a VHS. Bunch of books. Love some books. Frying pan. We have an extra revolver. Alright, we need to get settled here because we're already getting drowsy as well. This is why I started when I did. I figured this would take a minute. I want to equip that on the back. We do have a holster that I can put that in, make it a little lighter. And then there was a nightstick here that we were going to want on our belt. Kathy Asher. She has an M9. Ah, man. I don't want to leave behind the weapons. I really don't. You know what? We could use this. We'll take the crucifix. Martina needs all the help she can get right now. Yeah. Oh boy. See, the swing is too slow. We need to drop things. We can deal with this many, but this is one of those situations. One sprinter, and we're dead. Yeah. And this is because I'm being greedy over loot, well, even though she's underweight. Loot gremlin nature. It is a laceration. We should be okay. We don't know, though. Not yet. Martina cursed. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here just laying around. Man. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, because we have another bag here. Somewhere. Where is it? Here's the hiking bag. What craft can I research on this, actually? I would like to learn how to make one. She's the devil you're sensing. I didn't know this about Martina. I thought it would be Casey of all my characters. Alright. Plopping that down on the ground, and we're going to put stuff that we want to keep, but really can't afford to be carrying right now in here. Yeah, like, that's nice, that's nice. But we can't really afford to carry it. I will take that newspaper with me, because we want to read that. We can't read any of these yet, so they're not of use to us yet, but we'll want them eventually. Go in the bag. Tailoring one we can keep with us as a little bit of reading, if we have some time for it. Seeds can go in there too. These unknown mushrooms, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just not gonna risk it, dude. Alright, and that should be light enough as soon as we get some water in us. Oh, again. Alright, yeah, she is very tired though. So we want to kill these out here. And then get the fuck to bed. This is why I like long blunt. See? That went from we're fighting 4 zombies to we're fighting 2 zombies at a time. Very quickly. That is the power of blunt weapons. Especially if you get them knocked down underneath each other like that. Like, we didn't even need to stand on those zombies. The other zombies stepped forward and they were standing on them for us. So... yeah, we're good. Even though this place doesn't even have doors, we should be okay. Sleeping is a relatively quiet activity. We lost our sunglasses. Is that them over there? We'll grab them. We don't want to lose our sunglasses yet. She's still cool. Doesn't even have windows, yeah. This place got absolutely wrecked. We're gonna rest first. Oh, the fork story. Your sister lives in another town, and once a friend of yours was passing through that town. You asked your sister to let your friend stay at your sister's place. It was all fine, except your friend accidentally stole a fork from your sister's place. Your sister was so pissed at you because she doesn't talk to you. And she doesn't talk to you to this day because of the fork? Was it like a special fork? That is amazing. Now, I've gotten attached to the cutlery, I guess, that I have now. Like the utensils, the eating utensils I have. Mostly because the spoons are just the right size, you know? No, just a regular fork. Unforgivable. How could you? See, it's not quite time. She has 2 cigarettes. I tend to keep, like, 1 cigarette even on characters that don't smoke, because I figure if it comes time that they're infected and, you know, they want to go out on their own terms, maybe they want to smoke. You know? It's not like it's gonna harm them. Different considerations in the zombie apocalypse, you know? Let's see the annotated map. Old fuck with house full of food and no guns. Just don't bring a horde with you this time. And they were going to Louisville, or they wanted to. They did not make it very far. It wouldn't have helped them even if they had made it. It's an annotated map. This, if we hit here, it should show us. Ah. It's in Louisville. It's a location in Louisville. Unforgivable. Yeah, that's pretty wild to me. Sibling relationships can be pretty intense sometimes, but wow, dude. Alright, I think we can let her sleep. A little bit more sharpening of knives. I like that she rotates which whetstone she's using. Don't want to wear one out too much, you know? Alright, sleepy time. And then as long as it's not super foggy again, we might actually get some foraging done. But it looks like we also have canned stuff to eat. It would clear some space in our inventory. Do the stones have different grids? I don't think they do, but not sure. You know, like, to us, they look exactly the same. But to my character, they might look different. Bottle making at home. I'll be taking that. All kinds of stuff left on the ground. Rolling pin can be used as a weapon. Ah, we can open that with our handy knife. Did we take our can opener? Yeah, we do have a can opener on us, so we'll be okay as far as that goes. I'll take that with me just because if we run out of water, that's going to be awesome to have. And having it open already just makes that easier. Okay. When you saw multiple stones, you thought it was kind of that kind of fidelity? Fair. Oh, I mean, that's the kind of fidelity that can easily be modded in with what they have. I think I'm gonna try putting the chat right here for a bit. No, eventually I'll figure out where I like the chat. Alright, it is bright enough that we can check our map, even though it's super foggy. So we roughly want to be going up, but I'm also guessing that the road probably isn't going to be very safe. So we're just going to have to see as we go along. Yes, can we open stuff as we're moving? Doesn't look like it. Alright, we got plenty of weapons. We're a bit weighed down, which is not great. But we'll eventually go through stuff. I'm gonna drop the bugs. Don't really need them. They are in the fields, but they're pretty sparse there. I think I'll start, like, kind of going on a diagonal up. We'll kill these zombies. If there are a bunch more nearby, they will hear us, though. Sometimes while the zombies are falling down, you can hit them now. Find it kind of fun. We should have checked our bandage before we left. But at least that goes pretty quick. We'll just need to wash that bandage up next time we're indoors. Like next time we have access to water. We can even do that in the dirty water, actually. Doesn't feel like a very good idea, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. If it's not boiling water, then it won't get disinfected either way. Okay, we're making our way up. I see. They've got little clusters of them. Okay. Managed to get through there without attracting too many of them. Slowly but surely, indeed, yeah. A lot of Build 42 I'm finding is about patience. It really, really just is about patience. The trick is managing to survive while you're being patient. Because, like, starving to death is a huge concern in this build. Even with, like, especially it feels like with how much they've added to be able to eat. Long term, you kind of have to take advantage of the new systems. Like, if you don't end up gathering up livestock, like, let's say it's a 6 months later playthrough, probably all the livestock is going to be dead, but you still need to be hunting and stuff like that, if that's the case. Or even, you can keep the turkeys, I know, and even the wild animals that never count as domesticated, you can kind of keep them. You probably can breed them. Even the mice and the rabbits and stuff. And when you trap creatures, you do actually get a living version of the creature that you could put in a pen. They added a skill for you to get more meat while hunting. Oh! I think just having the butchering skill leveled in general probably does that. Let me just check real quick, because there's not really a hunting skill, but there is a tracking skill. Where is it? Yeah, tracking. So we have a tracking skill and we have a butchering skill. And yeah, the hooks, the butchering hooks, are super, super useful. Yeah, they added a blacksmith, which I know for a fact one of my friends is going to be really excited about, because we were trying to get the blacksmithing mod working in Build 41, in multiplayer, and it was just not working like it should have been. It was so disappointing. I'm hoping they add bows and stuff like that too. I know they were planning on it with the hunting. Yeah, it was really disappointing when that happened, so I'm looking forward to, especially the difference between the initial release of Build 42 and Build 42 like multiplayer version and the hotfix directly after it is substantial. Like, they fixed so much on that first correction. Hey, we got pigs. We'll mark this if we haven't already. Along Karen Highway, we got some piggies. We could also probably use the triangle. Yes, the fact that we can have bacon well into the apocalypse makes me happy. What I have been waiting on, like really waiting on, like I feel like it'll be ready when this happens, when I can make cheese, you know, like when I can grow a pizza from scratch. I will be very happy with the improvements they've made. I've been finding cheesecloths everywhere. We can make butter. We can milk the cows, all of this stuff. We can make flour, you know? Like, I want to make a pizza from scratch. That's what I want in this game. It kind of keeps you in a resourceful mindset. Yes, absolutely. One of the things, and not everybody will like this in a game, understandably, like, sometimes you don't want that level of realism to where your character isn't that strong, you know? Like, your character is strong, but you have to get there, and even when you are strong, it's not like you're invincible, yeah? The difference between being, like, fully built in Build 41 and Build 42 is pretty substantial. You are no longer nigh immortal, you know? The pizza item exists. You can craft it. Like, if we find cheese in a fridge, then we can add that cheese to the pizza. You know, we can craft a pizza. But we can't, like, milk the cow, turn the milk into cheese, and then use that on the pizza. Basically every other ingredient, except maybe, like, marinara. I don't know. We might use, like, tomatoes or something for it. Prepare pizza requires water, bowl, fork, rolling pin, corn flour, which we can make. Salt, which we can't make. That's another one that we gotta be able to make salt. Can we make salt yet? No. No, we need to be able to make salt too, but cheese. Cheese. We have to find the cheese still, as far as I'm aware. The tomato paste can be... Okay. So it has to be tomato paste. Can we make tomato paste? No, we can't make tomato paste either. So that's, right now, as it stands... Let's see, can we make the yeast either? Yeah, that's another one. I had mods to let me do that. Yeah. So the yeast, the tomato paste, and the cheese, we can't make. But even the bowls we can produce now. Like, we have clay, and we can work clay now. They weren't quite infinite in Build 41, but they do last a while. I wonder if that truck would work. Kind of want to check, because that would make this last stretch much easier. But we are nearly out of Shikaland. I do not like sprinters. Thank God we mined this 10,000-year-old salt 2 years before it expires. That is another thing. Salt does not expire in this game. Appropriately. Who's in there? Damn, girl. Well, now she looks like the Wicked Witch. Oh, yeah. Just her legs sticking out the building. Alright, disposable lighter. No keys so far. They might be on a zombie around here. So again, we're getting into that late in the day territory again, where we kind of want to clear this place and hang out by the lake. I remember looking at this little lake here, and you know, the almost dock. Well, apparently I'm getting hungry. Ooh, that might be the keys. The keys that we're looking for. Well, come on out. I knew somebody broke a window. Ladies, slow down. You know. Alright, we're feeling pretty hungry too, so this will be a nice little place to settle down. Is this? Yes, we do have the keys. Does it have gas? It doesn't. Oh, that's pretty sad. We do have the keys to this truck now, though. May as well mark it. Womp womp. Yeah. This close. Anything in the trunk? A tarp. Normally I'd take the tarp because those are nice for rain collection barrels. But we'll leave it. It's a bit heavy. Come on. Oh, she was wearing glasses. Oh, there is somebody home. Interesting. So they've got stairs inside and outside. Lots of tools. Fun place. Is this a... Huh. It looked like a sink for a second. It's a crazy house for it to be in the middle of nowhere, right though? The garage is actually really nice too. Like you could pull in the car. There's a little lake. Like this would be a lovely place for fishing. Shikaland kinda cool. I can see why there are a lot of zombies here. Donkey Road. I like this place. We may revisit here. This may become a stash. Okay, death by stairs, not today. Come on. Is it a lead pipe? I'm pretty sure it's a steel pipe. Where is it? Yeah, steel rod. Cool place, dude. I really like this house, damn. They got Brussels sprouts and a rotten pear. They got knives, they got some salt. Shame the power's out. Be nice to hang out here for a minute. They have a parcel, an extra small parcel with nothing but cheese in it. I bet that's fancy cheese. There's wine here. What a cool place. Score. Chocolate chips, yeah. We got some box wine too. Get your feet wet. We could probably play that in the car, even though there's no power in here. Oh, they've got a sliding door. Bro. I like this place. Yo. This is a special place. To have some canned carrots. We'll sit down. I feel like this would be a really good place for a couple. My partner gets motion sickness from this game, so I can't play with them, but if I could play with them, this is the kind of house that I'd want to play with them in. It's got like a really good garage like that. Like it's built big enough for two people, storage and all, but also there's only one bed. It's just a double bed, so yeah, I feel like it would be good for couples. The different areas, like there's different houses. The Rosewood fire station actually is the one that made me really want to play with a group. Just because it's so well set up for playing with a group. They've got a smoking pipe on the bedside table. Interesting. Threatening letter in there. We can't read the threatening letters, unfortunately. Contains nothing of interest. I'm pretty interested. I don't know about you guys, but... Do the spawns scale with group size? No, that's something you have to manually control in the server settings. But the server settings, you can actually change them whenever you want, as opposed to just when you're making the game. Let's close that window. Don't want to accidentally climb through it. That'd be awkward. So yeah, the settings that I have on this world are actually the settings that I was experimenting with for a server with like 3 or 4 people. I just wanted to see like if most of the towns are unmanageable for just a single player, then that kind of makes it perfect for a bunch of players. Something that happens is sometimes there's not enough zombies for everybody. End up with people with nothing to do. We have a lot of keys. No wonder we've run out of space on that keyring. Usually I end up with a second keyring, like specifically for car keys or something like that. Okay, we've got some time. We can do a little reading. Like our character and us, because we've got some newspapers to read. We'll have her eat a little bit more though. Don't want her losing weight too fast. We'll have some sugar cubes, some chalky chips. Can't really use a microwave right now, so I don't know what we're gonna do with that instant popcorn. Can we even eat it in that state? Yeah, we can eat it unpopped. Probably very unpleasant though. We do have a frying pan. If we were to make a little fire, then we could cook up a meal with all the canned stuff. But not much of a point right now. Just extra effort. Put these bags in the backpack for the keys in the backpack for now. Sharpen some knives up. Because if we're taking them out of our backpack to use them, then we kind of need them to already be sharp. Now, she's collecting postcards and stuff like that, so I'll let her keep it. I'll let her keep it. 2 cigarette packs. We don't necessarily need, though. Here we go. Little something to read. Knox News printed in Irvington. That's around where we are. Okay. Brandenburg disaster, funds on the way. I think Brandenburg is the... how much of the map do I have discovered? Okay, so you can't really see it here, but this river goes down and across. Brandenburg is way off over here, like opposite of Louisville. And it was kind of torn through, like it got destroyed. It was a tornado or something like that in game. Latest news. Local teacher wins national award. Rangers triumph in West Point. Frankfurt. Governor Cal Fairweather has reassured Brandenburg's mayor that the long-promised federal funds for the rebuilding of Brandenburg are on the way. Despite an overwhelming early response following the tornado on April 18th, which saw ample aid provided for residents in the aftermath, promised federal funds for rebuilding have still not arrived, with buildings patched up with wood and major damage still evident. Early warnings meant many residents were taking shelter when the tornado touched down in the northeast part of town, but the highest winds killed 3 residents and injured dozens. The F2 tornado destroyed cars and razed houses. Hundreds of people remained homeless, living in hotels or trailer parks paid for by the state, with others living with relatives or friends. Up to 40% of residences and 30% of businesses in the area are uninsured, meaning the cost to the taxpayer could exceed $50 million. Kentucky is often struck by tornadoes, but the April whirlwind took authorities by surprise? Yeah. Now that, it's interesting, because July, in this world, July is when the zombie apocalypse really kicks in. And it would be showing up in those areas around then, too. So that's a really bad time when a lot of people are, like, all together in hotels and stuff like that. You know? Like, that's a rough condition for the zombie apocalypse to start in. I'm guessing Brandenburg can be kind of spooky in certain areas. Hunter injured in deer attack. John Nathan, a hunter from New York, has said he was lucky to not have been severely injured after a run-in with a stag in the forest west of Riverside. "I've been hunting in the Knox area for years," said Nathan, "but I never saw something like this, especially outside of rutting season. I was lining up a shot on a rabbit when a white-tailed stag suddenly burst out of... That deer was attacking him for aiming at a rabbit." I do wonder if they're gonna add, like, zombie animals now that they've added animals. Because I know that there is a setting to make it so that the animals attract zombies. Akron's oldest resident gives long life secret. Full of lively talk and old songs, it's hard to believe Nancy Hume, Akron's oldest resident, is 103 years old. "I outlived all my friends," she says, then adds with a smile, "but I outlived all my enemies, too." So what are Nancy's secrets? Bourbon with your supper, bed before 10, and never get involved with men. Never! So, be a lesbian, drink bourbon. That is her secret. That's how she lived to 103. Martina reading that like, Now we got her right life goal. Yeah. Absolutely. That lady is an icon. We've got July 6th as well. You're gonna start improving your life now. Now that you know how. Yeah. Mystery illness strikes locals, overwhelms authorities. This is printed in Irvington, July 6th. So in Muldrow, an unidentified illness has struck down dozens of residents in Muldrow region with symptoms of severe fevers and vomiting. March Ridge has opened its military hospital to the public to help contain the illness, though it's not believed to spread person to person. Officials from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are reportedly on the way to the hospital to aid its investigation to aid in investigating the cause of the outbreak. It is understood that several of the afflicted have suffered bites, and Janine Cortman, a local doctor, theorizes that a rabies outbreak is in progress. Dr. Cortman said, "I treated 4 patients in the same day with the same symptoms. I'm out of rabies immunoglobulin, so I'm extremely grateful the military has opened their hospital in Fort Knox to the public." Rabies was recently reported in the region among the wild animal population, the deer attacking the hunter. But cases in humans are rare. Before today, says Dr. Cortman, I'd seen only 3 definite cases of rabies in humans. It's a worry that this... Okay, so part of Zomboid is... There's several theories as to how the zombie apocalypse started. Even just going by, like, the shows and the radios, there's several theories that one could make as to how it actually started. But also, these news things that they've added, the newspapers and some of the new shows and stuff like that, kind of just furthers it, where now we're seeing a lot more of it. Like, the images that they were talking about in the news stations before, we see a lot of those images now in these newspapers, but it's still very unclear. Like, here, there's some kind of implication that maybe it was something that happened with rabies. You know, like, zombie apocalypse is just a advanced rabies or something in humans. But yeah, it's not known. All that you really know is that you're one of the few people with immunity to the airborne version of the virus. And that's why you survive and pretty much everybody else doesn't. It's worth reading them. There is actual story to this. And, I mean, I got into this game during the COVID pandemic. Like, during the lockdown. For that, all the quarantines and stuff. And there was some meta stuff almost just watching the shows, and like it was this game was made before then, but there's definitely references. Like I noticed Build 41 is when I started playing, so I don't know when they added this stuff, but there you can find houses that are literally full of toilet paper. It's something that was happening during the quarantines is stores would run out of toilet paper because people were just buying all of it as if they'd need all of the toilet paper in the world. Yeah. And in Zomboid, you can find houses that are literally like all of the cupboards are full of it, the fridge is full of it. Literally everything is nothing but toilet paper and excessive amounts of it. It's real. You can find them. The random room full of zombies. There's some interesting ones. I like the birthday party ones. Are really funny. You've gone straight into a couple. It's interesting to me. I really like that it can be any variation of couple. So like you those events, you'll walk into the bedroom and on the floor there'll be a whole bunch of clothing and two zombies will be naked in the bedroom together. And of course there's implication as to what was happening there. But it can be straight couples, it can be gay couples, it can be lesbian couples. Like, it's completely random. And it can get even funnier because the zombies wander around. Sometimes zombies beyond just the couple will end up in the bedroom with them. Which just furthers the, what was going on here? Exactly. Phone lines still down in area. It's all fun and games until a zombie stumbles out of the closet. Oh, the funniest, in this game, they won't break out of the closets or stuff. They'll just sit very quietly in the closet. And when you go to open the closet, because usually there's loot in there, they'll be like, ah! Jump at you. But yeah, until then, they're just sitting very quietly in the closet. You don't even know there's another zombie in the house just waiting for you, you know? You found one of the pics in the game and there were two women kissing. I have a fun tidbit about that. So I really like to, when my character spawns, sometimes the house you spawn in will have photos stashed in drawers and like whole photo albums and stuff like that. I like to keep them with me and try to sort of incorporate that into my character's story. My character on the multiplayer server I'm playing with my friends, it was two photos, and one of them was two women kissing, and the other one was a couple holding hands. So what it implied about the character was that before the zombie apocalypse, she was in a lesbian relationship that she clearly treasured. I mean, she's keeping these photos with her. And it's almost sad, you know? Like, it's something she hasn't even shared with the survivor group. It really, the story writes itself in a way. You just have to give it little nudges here and there to see it. Because I could just leave the photo albums behind. But then I wouldn't be learning about the characters. My favorite one, it was a world that I may have told this story before, I'm not sure, but it was a world that I had already been playing in, so, you know, zombies would wander about a bit. I load onto a new character and they spawn in the bathroom. And the door closed, you know, they're alone in their bathroom. I figured I joined them right after they were using the toilet or something. I look around the bathroom, you know, there's not much there. There's not much loot. There's no weapons. Kind of just have to turn around, open the door, and it's a whole group of zombies wearing party hats. This guy went into the bathroom during his birthday party, walked out, And they were all zombies. That was one of the shortest runs I've had with a character, but also one of the funniest, just because of the sheer implication of what happened there. You know? Went into the bathroom with party guests outside. Came out of the bathroom, they had all turned into zombies. That is a birthday party gone wrong. That is the worst surprise party in existence. Yeah. People have resorted to short-range radios to communicate with authorities, it says here. The picture. The character didn't even get their cake. Yeah. Yeah. Knox Telecommunications has apologized to angry customers for an unscheduled maintenance period, which has seen phone lines go down within the area for almost a week. The response to the Muldrow illness outbreak has been hampered by the outage, with many seeking help using short-range radio calls to police and medical authorities. This one, there's actually a lot of implication that it wasn't maintenance. It wasn't maintenance that took the phone lines down. There's a lot of implication that they were trying to keep how bad the illness was quiet. So they were trying to limit communication with people inside of the quarantine zones. This is before they realized that it was too late. Like, the airborne version ends up worldwide before they can do anything about it. We didn't watch through the news stations when we had time on this one. But I've watched through them before. We'll have to, at some point, we'll do a TV run. We'll start a run where the character basically barricades themselves indoors and watches TV and the radio and sort of follows the instructions that they're supposed to. Because that can be a fun way to start as well. And there's so many channels now. Fast food chain Spiffos has apologized after its secret sauce left local burger consumers with a bad taste in their mouths. Head of logistics Paula Impton has said the mix-up occurred when a batch of new experimental hot sauce was accidentally redirected to Kentucky in place of the... This is the real reason the zombie apocalypse started. The secret sauce. Definitely hard with the amount of food, eating a chip daily, yeah. I would probably want to turn the loot settings up a bit. I would probably do perishable food up, but non-perishable food down a little bit. Because that gives us the sort of a week or so span that we'd want to be watching the TV stations. We don't actually get long with the TV stations, but the radio stations last longer. We would also want to have a radio and a TV to work with if we're going to do that. So some of that is, it may be like restarting the save if we don't have all the stuff we need. It may be going over to the neighbor's house. You know, like a little bit of exploration. I like the slow play style too. I think that's why I'm liking Build 42 so much. Because I liked the slow start when I was just learning Zomboid. And it was really immersive because I was kind of nervous with the character. Where now, like, I'm too self-confident. When my characters are still in the phase where they don't know if they can even survive. You know? Like, they don't know how they've survived this long. You know? Like, they're still in that place, and I'm like, yeah, I've been through worse. You know? Technically, the character was the cake. You are not wrong. rest on the bed for a bit because this character loves to wake up at 3:20 a.m. Alright, still not tired enough. So, we'll have to be on our way. Is there anything in here? Nah. Nothing good. We'll sit here for a second, have some food. And then we should keep going. We are 7 minutes away from 2 hours though, so if we're gonna get back to where Martina called home, it's probably gonna be tomorrow. So we're gonna be heading up Hogwallow Road, and it will eventually take us back. But it's gonna be a long walk. Might want to see if we have a kettle or anything here that we could boil some water in. What have they got here? Rotten bowl of stew, a birthday card, scenic mile car dealership, jar of cabbage that's actually good still, we'll take, some rotten poppies. No emergency station. Get your feet wet, it says. Well, alright. We have extra water? Yeah, we do have extra water. So we should be fine. We should be fine. Just fill this up before we go. Have a drink. Actually, we can drop the newspapers now that we've read through them as well. And we've marked on the map that this car is here. I could go looking for useful stuff, but we're gonna end up even heavier than we are already if I do that, so best if we head out now. Okay, I'm glitching. Why can I not swing? There's the swing, okay. Christians together. You know what? I'm dropping that on the ground so that it can be found later, and I'm leaving, because that's more zombies than I want to fight right now. Alright, is this Hogwallow? Yes, we are on Hogwallow Road. We are officially off of Karen Highway and out of Shikaland. We have escaped. She didn't, though. Sucks for her. Yee. Just gonna be speeding along for a bit here. No zombies to worry about yet. Got some crackers to eat. Maybe some marshmallows. You did not escape Amazon. You got dragged back into window shopping and now you have way too many tabs open. This always happens eventually anyway. It's just a matter of time. I don't know. If this is clear enough, we may actually make it back today. Hogwell is a pretty quiet road, it feels like so far, knocking on wood. If it stops being quiet, then it looks like there are places to duck out. What is this? Alright, we're to Lakeview. If we keep going up, we want to get to Hawthorne Creek Road. If it stays clear, we very well may be able to leave her in a safe place today. Check on our chickens. And we've got a clear path to the cows now. I didn't remember exactly how to get to them, but it's a much straighter shot than I thought it was. Martina the Marauder on another adventure. Uh-huh. She's gonna be feeling a lot more confident after this. She has survived through quite a bit. And again, it takes a lot more to scare her. The last time I saw her scared, it wasn't when she was looking across the fields of zombies. It was right in front of her when she was just walking along, not expecting there to be zombies. There were 3 of them in a bush, eating a corpse. And honestly, yeah, that's pretty freaky. That's pretty freaky. She has been through a life. Yeah, she has. She's down to very low weight as well. Quite dangerous for her, but she's surviving. This is the biggest thing. We show her that she can survive, and she'll believe it. She'll panic less and less. Just walk along eating our canned tomatoes. This guy deaf. All right. Steel rod half. So we can split the steel rods. We just have to hit enough zombies with them. Ooh, does this truck work? They've got an empty gas can. This, we don't really want to go in there because it's going to be a whole lot of zombies and no technology. Although they've got wells and stuff like that in there too. Got a little, like, Amish colony or something here. It's either the Amish or it's a cult. Really depends on your viewpoint whether that's the same thing as well. Actually, kind of a pretty walk. Look at that. Right along the river. Yeah, this river, it goes like all the way around here. Probably see another part of it in that path that we went past. The dirt path. I've driven down it before. It is a pain to drive through, honestly. The ones who parked their truck right at the entrance there had the right idea. Curious about whether they'll add horses eventually. Yeah, I'd be pretty exhausted by now, too. can walk a lot further than I can run without getting tired, you know? But this is a walk, man. She has been walking all day. She doesn't even have her Walkman, man. Yeah. If we had been sneaking or actually running during this, then she would be exhausted. But as it is, she can kind of just walk forever. We're only just now getting drowsy, and that's because we woke up really early. There aren't even masseuses anymore, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like if you ask Michonne how to get a masseuse out of a zombie, then Michonne could figure it out. But it would probably involve taking off their fingernails or something like that. Certainly their teeth. Yeah, there's the car we moved off the road. We're gonna get home. We're gonna get home, guys. She is probably just mind blown at this point. Like, holy shit. The car broke down and we still survived, guys. She's even injured. She's going home with an injury. Best way would probably be so they just walked on your back somehow, because anything else may not work out. You tie them to a roller system so that you're laying comfortable and the rollers are going over your back as the zombie's trying to get you. Yeah! Something like that, yeah. Especially if you include tech in the solution. It works out. Hello, chickens. How dirty is the hutch? Only 12%. We're good. It's just a cute little adventure. We've got rabbits. Forgot we had 2 baby rabbits. Different kinds, too. Wonder why they each only had 1 baby. See, we've already got a butter churn. But the reason we went all that distance is because we don't have cows. Yeah. And we were trying to find them. There was none in this town. We have to go all the way over to Shikaland to get cows. But she lives. I'm actually quite impressed with this character. Some characters have more of a will to live than others, you know? We got nothing in the fridge. Rotten gravy. That's sad. We'll put the beer over here. If she wants to make herself a nice little drink, she can. Alright, and we'll unpack a little bit more tomorrow. I just wanted to get some of this off of me. Maybe... it's not that important to be washing stuff. We don't have the water for it. Alright. I think I'm gonna stop it there. I'm not gonna push my luck anymore. We made it back, guys. Martina lives. She will eventually get nice and fat. I think my goal for her is to maybe even let her get a little bit fat, you know, like overweight. Even she deserves it. If she's dealt with being underweight in the zombie apocalypse this long, she deserves to be overweight for a little bit. You know, at least for the winter. She'll have her buffet day eventually. Yes, absolutely. Especially when we have pigs and cows. Someday she's gonna have a bacon cheeseburger. Someday. Although, I can't add mods to this after the fact, so I really want them to add the ability to make cheese. Martina might be a character that I remake. I'm actually starting to really like her. Like, she has a personality. She's lived long enough to gain that. Yes, it is always so fun to game with you. Thank you guys for making it a very fun stream. Yeah, we can actually, like, because we know what she looks like, we can recreate her and save her as a preset. Plus her traits and all that. This is the end for now. Tomorrow I am going to be taken off because it's a Sunday, but I will see you all Monday. 24-hour bug stream win. Ooh. We'll have to make that a goal. Like, if we meet a certain amount of, you know, like, if there's a certain amount of subscribers in a month or something like that, you know? 24-hour bug stream could be fun. Yeah. Thank you kindly. Oh, save up for it? Awesome. We'll make it a celebration. I'll spend a lot of time in just chatting if it's a 24-hour stream, to be honest. Yes, I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I will see you again soon. You'll have to catch me up on Monday. See how it went for all of us. Could have a debate stream. Oh. We'll plan. See you guys. Have a good weekend, friends.